He stabbed the knife into his own arm, but the blade was blocked by bone. It couldn't cut through. Helpless, he had to pull the knife out. He dipped his fingers in blood and put it into his mouth. It couldn't quench his thirst, but all his water was gone. He could only drink urine. Though the taste was unbearable, it was his last hope for survival. As night approached, knowing that rescue was hopeless, Aaron carved his own epitaph into the wall with the knife. Exhaustion overtook him, and hallucinations appeared again and again. Time seemed to slow down. Hunger and cold never stopped tormenting him. Scenes kept flashing before his eyes, while his life, like the battery of his camera, was draining away bit by bit. Relatives and friends appeared before him. He didn't know whether they were waiting to reunite with him or to bid him farewell. The scent of death attracted swarms of flies. A ray of sunlight shone in. Aaron, half asleep, opened his blurry eyes. In a trance, he saw a little boy. Aaron was playing joyfully with him. He didn't know if it was himself as a child or the life he never got to live. Aaron's will to survive was awakened again. There were too many regrets he still held for his family. Too many things he still wanted to do for himself. Dreams waiting to be fulfilled. He could not just die here. Aaron resolved to amputate his arm and save himself. He adjusted the angle and, enduring excruciating pain, bent hard. With a sharp crack, he broke his own forearm. Then he pulled out a tourniquet to tie off his arm and used his small knife to cut through the flesh bit by bit. The unbearable agony made him scream aloud, even causing him to faint several times. But the desire to live ultimately triumphed. At last, he broke free from the giant boulder that had trapped his fate. He stood there, stunned, hardly able to believe what he had just done. After a long while, regaining his senses, Aaron quickly bandaged the wound with whatever he had. Before leaving, he didn't forget to record his half-severed arm on video. As if relieved, he whispered a thank you, then strode out of the crevice. Outside, the sunlight was incredibly warm, striking him like an electric current. He discovered a small pool of water below the cliff. Now he desperately needed water. Fortunately, on the rocks behind him, other climbers had left metal anchors. He tied himself to a rope and slowly descended to the valley floor. He plunged headfirst into the water hole. Though the water was muddy, for Aaron it was incomparably precious. He licked and drank, filled his bottle, drank again, and after quenching his thirst, he packed his water and discarded all unnecessary items. Then he pressed on. Days of lacking food and water had left his body terribly weak. Every step was painfully difficult, but he dared not stop. He had to find rescue before blood loss or fainting overtook him. Just as he was about to collapse, Aaron finally saw 3 figures ahead. Summoning the last of his strength, he shouted for help. At last, with their aid, he survived until the rescue helicopter arrived. Much later, on a certain day, he saw his family and friends gathered together, looking at him, just like in his hallucinations. His premonition had come true. This film is based on a true story. The real-life figure is legendary American mountaineer Aron Ralston. Although he lost part of his arm, he continues to love adventure and travel, never letting fear or his injury hold him back.